Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, TLB proudly presents to you the best wrestling podcast in the world. Wade Willis, Marvelous Marlin, Ringside P, Tables, Ladders, and Bumps. Let's get into it, guys. Before we get started, I need you guys to like, subscribe, share, comment, give us feedback. Check out our IG. We are on YouTube. Check that out. Check out TikTok. Check out everything that we're doing. We're gonna do a recap of Money in the Bank. We're gonna do a recap of Raw. Unless someone also has some about SmackDown. We also got a 3 count, which is 3 burning topics that are like piercing our soul that we need to get off our chest. We got some 10 full theories. This was gonna be something that's crazy, absurd. Might happen, might not happen. It might be like an asphalt type of theory. And we have a no hate, just debate topic for tonight. So we're just gonna get into everything, man. We're gonna get into Money in the Bank, man. Who wants to go first?
I could go first. I'll go through the first match. So, the men's Money in the Bank match, it was all right. They've done such a good job with the Money in the Bank matches. The men's one almost felt too clean. Like it felt like everything was so smooth. There were no real mistakes or anything like that. Which if you're having like the chaos of a ladder match, and we'll get into the other one that is the polar opposite of that. I would, if I'm watching a ladder match, I'd rather see the other one personally than the men's one that was like, yo, this is cool. Like, there's some sweet moves. Like, Chad Gable was by far the MVP of that match. Like, that was like if people had not seen him in a pay-per-view, which there's maybe a chance because he's not in that many, I felt like that was almost a breakout performance with that front bump hanging on the
belly flop.
Yeah, the belly flop, that looked like, I could tell you I've taken a few of those bumps just from me jumping, and they hurt like really bad. So I was just thinking of being 15 feet higher than where I'm taking the bump from and how much that would hurt. So yeah, I thought he was very impressive. I wasn't, and I'm not like the biggest fan of using it just to add more to the CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud, because I would have liked, well, I mean I wanted Chad Gable to get it because I feel like he would have been good with the Money in the Bank briefcase. But yeah, I guess anyone else, like Jey Uso's had so many title shots for like big belts, like he gets them all the time, and he's a babyface. I don't like it on a babyface. So who else would you? Andrade? No way. So I don't know who. I guess Mello. Mello would have been sick with it too. So Mello or Chad. So yeah, I was kind of iffy on why they did it the way they did, but I don't care that much. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
I already did. I really thought it was going to be Jey Uso or Drew McIntyre. Of course, we all think Mello winning would have been super cool, right? I mean, that was one of the predictions that we kind of had as a theory, but I just don't understand what they're going to do with Jey Uso now. Like, he obviously has a beef with Chad, but as far as like contending for a title, if that's anytime soon, then maybe the whole Bloodline Roman return is going to be delayed even more, maybe till Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, just to lead up to that road to WrestleMania. But I was just so confused with Jey Uso burning all of his moves in 30 seconds. He had like a little spree, and I was like, well, he's not winning because he just did everything in his playbook right now. He pulled out
that's 3 moves, so that literally is done in 30 seconds every time. But
exactly. So I was like, it ain't gonna be him. But I thought the men's match was just okay. A couple of cool springboard moves off the ropes and the inverted Spanish fly. Is that what it was?
Yeah, that looked like that sucked.
Yeah, that was
that sunset.
Yeah, Andrade.
ladder?
Oh yeah, that was great too. So it was just all right. But Drew javeling that ladder was I did not have that on my Money in the Bank bingo card
That's
at
so
all.
great.
That was like precision. That was crazy good.
I
love
popped so hard for that. I was like, yeah, get him.
What about you, Pierre?
Man, I actually get like really enjoyed it. Like some of the spots that I saw was like incredible to me. Like I said, that sunset flip powerbomb on top of the ladder,
Yeah,
that was
sick.
crazy. You know, like the inverted Spanish fly, also crazy. You know, the javelin throw with a ladder, Jey Uso, you know, nuts. And in the beginning, like I think I was kind of like with you too, like way like um no, I didn't have a problem initially with Drew McIntyre winning the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then now as the days have passed, I kind of do, you know, because it's like it's completely wasted in a sense. And I've seen other people's perspective on it. And did you need to win it? Couldn't CM Punk just interfere? I was surprised there was no interference at all during that match from outside
I
forces.
know.
Right.
I thought everything was set up for that, you know, like I thought either you would have got LA Knight climbing up to the ladder and Logan Paul popping out, you know,
Right.
to further their feud for SummerSlam. Either with Jey Uso or Chad climbing up and then the lights going out and the Y6 popping up, you know, or with Jey Uso again, the bloodline popping up, just to kind of further their storyline. It was real surprising that no one came out at all. Chad Gable not winning, Jey Uso not winning.
Mhm.
I can understand LA Knight not winning because I'm assuming that he's gonna get a title shot anyway, you know,
Right.
next month. But even still, like now I'm gonna get into that in my 3 count, but those 3 guys are kind of like on fire right now in different ways.
Mhm.
And Drew McIntyre kind of stole all that from them, only to further a storyline that I don't think can need to be pushed using the briefcase. Now that I think about it, I mean, it helps. It adds more to the hatred between the two of them.
Yeah.
But I think that could have been accomplished in a different way, you know, still.
Yeah.
The only thing it added was really bringing Seth Rollins into the whole thing, which
Yeah.
like that was like what
That
the
part
feud
too.
was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So other than that, but it's like I didn't like Drew in the match either because every other person had never won a like major belt. So like
Yeah.
you have 5 guys who are like up and coming or like 45 years old, like LA Knight that's finally like hit. But like I don't know. I like when it's all people who haven't like Drew's won the world championship 2 or 3 times.
Right.
So or 3 times I think. I don't really
Main
like
event of
when
WrestleMania.
I don't really care for him being in the match, but I don't know, things to be bothered by. It's like I'm like, yeah, I didn't like it
Yeah.
that much, but like it was dramatic and stuff, so
Mhm.
we got a javelin throw out of Drew being in it, so that's still sick.
Yeah, that was dope.
And then for me, for like just like the pay-per-view in general, it felt like stressful, man. Like I was watching it and there was just so many like highs, and then like the next match with Sami Zayn and Brian Breaker, that was like my common point right there. Even though it was still like a dope match, like saying that, not saying it was whack, but it was just going from the Money in the Bank ladder match to me was so like high intense and like crazy spots to me. They go to the next match. It was like, all right, I'm relaxed a little bit, and then we go into John Cena, and now I'm just emotional again, you know, because it's like, yo, now I sit back, and I'm listening to them talk, and I'm like, yo, like this dude really been around for like 2 decades, you know, and I feel like I've seen most of that 2 decades. Like that's 20 years of my life that John Cena's been in my life in some way. That's crazy to me. And I'm sitting here thinking about the moments, and it's like I'm sitting here thinking about the moments, and it's like, yo, like this dude has really been doing this, like, you know, really been putting on the show. He's really been a workhorse. What you can say, maybe like 19 of those years, you know, between
Yeah.
like 15 and, you know, a long period of time, longer than most guys have, and at a high level too, you know. So though this dude has really had like a historic career. And it's like, wow, like it's really, we at the point, like we at the age where we can see great people retire. We've been through their whole like era, whether it's in sports, and now we're really seeing it like doing wrestling, like that. So, and I don't think we really saw a person have like a farewell tour in WWE per se. We've seen people like, all right, this is my last match and that's it. But he's actually going like an actual real farewell tour, which is I think is going to be dope. And
Sting
I'm
did
looking
it.
forward to it.
Sting did it.
I mean, in
Mhm.
WWE.
Oh, well, yeah, in WWE. I mean,
Yeah.
they did it to Sting, but they like made him want to actually quit wrestling because their thing with him was so bad. But AEW did a good job with Sting's farewell tour, though.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah.
You think we get a
Yeah.
crazy last match like Steen had with John Cena?
No, not that crazy. Hell no. No one's gonna be taking a freaking 20-foot flat back onto glass. Like, that's not happening. That was like that's like one of the sickest matches I ever seen. Yeah, no, there's no way that's happening. Unless he goes against the whole Wyatt Six and they do like he's just like doing the just trying to choke out Sister Abigail and stuff. And yeah, I'm see, I like John Cena not in wrestling. Like I like him in the Peacemaker, like all of his movies. I think he's really
Yeah.
good in. As a wrestler, he doesn't like hit for me. Like almost like he has some good like there's like a few matches that I like, but I just am not like I'm not like that. I had zero emotion when he's like, I'm retiring, and then he was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, oh, he's doing like a whole year. Like, I don't really, I don't know. Cool. Like, yeah, I know that there's a lot of people who are gonna care, but the last Cena match I saw was him versus Austin Theory. That was the first time I'd seen him wrestle in person. That match sucked ass. So I'm not like super pumped to see him wrestle again. I'm sure it'll be better because that's probably his worst match in like 2 or 3 years. But yeah, that match was terrible. And then yeah, the Sami Zayn match, it was fine. Like they could do a way better match.
Yeah.
It was like super anticlimactic. It was like one haluva kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what I was surprised about that. Like,
One haluva kick and he's out. And he was just dominating too.
yeah.
nope. Yeah. I don't
No spear,
yeah, I'm not I like Sami Zayn, but I'm kind of like done with this. I mean, he's just like I was texting you guys. Like next he's gonna go against Ilya Dragunov, so he beats like all my favorite wrestlers like right in a row. Like, can they pick it? Like, then it'll be Finn Balor after that. I'm gonna be like, what the hell? Like, he just starts knocking people off. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, can you beat someone I don't actually like? Go. I guess he beat Bronson Reed, but not one-on-one. I don't think. I think he's 0-2 against Bronson Reed one-on-one. Like, if you beat Bronson Reed, I'd be like, oh, all right, cool. Like, I wouldn't really care. But all the other ones, I like Sammy, but I've rooted against him.
Yeah.
Virtually every time because I wanted either Chad Gable, Gunther, Braun Breaker. Like I think it's going to be a triple threat with Ilya, Braun, and Sam. That match should kick ass. To be honest, that should be a really good match. So, but yeah, I'm like kind of. I don't get how he's an underdog and the champion every time.
Well, he said he's not the underdog anymore.
Yeah,
Remember?
but he is like. He's like, I should be the underdog. I'm like, you talk like an underdog all the time. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of whatever about that match, but the men's or sorry, the heavyweight match that was next, right?
Yeah.
After
Yes.
those,
Damian Priest and Seth freaking Rollins.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was I actually liked the first part of the match. Like, it was kind of a little bit rough. Like, it was Seth Rollins' first match back, so I kind of figured it wouldn't be like the most smooth match ever.
Mhm.
I mean, you had the whole botch thing with
The count.
Priest, and I
Yeah.
don't know if he like they haven't said he hit his head. I'm pretty sure he probably was like just a little loopy or something, and whatever. It happens. I'm not. It made the match
Do you
kind of weird, but
do you think that Drew Music was supposed to hit before, and
That's
it's
a
supposed to
theory.
just rough
Sure.
things?
WWE is saying that's not what happened, but they could just be lying. So,
Right.
Yeah.
like, I never know what to believe. I would say the likelihood is either I'd be 50-50. Either music was supposed to hit or he hit his head or something, like he just like
Right.
lost his mind from because it was right
Yeah.
after a bump where you're like, even if you take it right, you're kind of hitting your head a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. If you watch the replay, you could see after he doesn't get his shoulder up, he like tells Seth something. He
Yeah.
whispers, he mouths something to him, probably like I effed up or
yeah, my
"Oh,
bad.
supposed to hit, my bad. And then you see the referee talking to him after that too.
Yeah, he was like, "Are you okay?" Like
Yeah.
I saw the ref like asking that. So, um, but once Drew came in, I mean that was pretty sick. Like
Yeah.
the beginning of the match was fine, and then yeah, the botch, and then it's like basically three parts of the match. The botch where you're like, "What just happened?"
Right.
And then like 30 seconds later, Drew comes out, and then CM Punk beats his ass, and then yeah, I don't know. It was fine. Um, I'm CM Punk looks kind of jacked. I think.
Yeah.
Do you guys
He
think
put he
so
put on some
too?
muscle.
You
Yeah, he
think
put
he's
on some
taking
muscle.
stuff now?
He doing some drugs now?
Uh,
Isn't that straight edge anymore?
You think he's doing a test or at least or something?
well, probably test. He's definitely taking tests. Like he's kind of old. Like you should
Yeah.
probably, if you're doing any like physical thing like that,
Yeah.
like your job revolves around that, and you're like past 38, you should probably take tests or realistically probably HGH to
HGH. Yeah.
recover in some way, like or go through things. Steroids, I don't think he's taking steroids, but um yeah, I wouldn't judge if he did, like
Right.
because that's not like using drugs to get high either. I think there's like a completely different, like
Right.
it's to me that's a very different type of thing. But yeah, I mean
You heard
that
it here first, people. CM Punk is doing drugs now.
no, I'm not saying that.
Clip it up. CM Punk is
He's
a druggie.
I'm like impressed with how jacked he looks. I'm not trying to get of all things, I don't want to get I'll
Flag.
say I'll say that Paul Heyman's joined the Wyatt Six, but I am not. I'll die on that hill, but I'm not gonna say anything with CM Punk about that. But yeah, I mean that match was just fine. It was a little disappointing to me just because of the botch, and I like Priest a lot, so I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were
But
talking about on What Culture how like in that split second the referee had to make a decision. He's like,
oh,
if I count as a win, this causes a calamity, like just a bunch of a cascade of things that could happen. Like Priest has to leave Judgment Day. Like what else?
you
The
can't
whole
have
Drew.
CM Punk interfere like in the
Yeah.
same way because it's
Yep.
not a triple threat.
Yep. It would cause something between Drew, or would like kind of put a wedge between Drew and what's his name, CM Punk.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, it would just like throw things off. So it was just like
Yeah.
he had to make that decision, and they said it was just a lot easier just to say it wasn't a three count.
I would have like acted like I hurt my elbow or something like when I was doing it. Like, ooh. I'd be like, oh shoot. I guess he was pinned. That was my bad, dude. Yeah. If they were gonna do the music thing, that's not super smart because you could mess that up so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. But yeah. I mean, what you have any other thoughts on that match, Pierre?
watching it, I did like how they added suspense because they knew Drew was gonna come. Pause. They knew that he wanted to cash in or whatever, and I kind of wish that Drew didn't make it so obvious about the World Heavyweight Championship that it could have been possible to do the WWE Undisputed Championship, but it is what it is. But I like this doing the match. They kept looking back to the ramp to see if he was coming, and then even at some points, man, just going, come on, come out. We know you're back there waiting, So I liked that. It added to the match. The botch thing is the botch thing. Like in the moment, it's like, yo, yeah, like you say, like, what's going on? It's kind of like what was that when it was Not when it was when it was Kerry Zane in the match, and she had tagged in. Yeah.
The ref got too involved. The ref should have just let them wrestle. Like, I don't know. That was like the opposite. Yeah, the ref should have just been like, whatever, dude. Like,
he was like, no, you're wrong. Go back. And he totally messed that match up. But it's like once we get past that, we get to Drew being in the ring, and then we get to CM Punk, and it's kind of like I don't want to say you forget about the botch, but it does kind of help you put it in the back of your mind in a sense, at least for me, because seeing CM Punk and all the other stuff that causes the chaos. And then now we get back to CM Punk, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, possibly Seth and Drew again in some way,
Yep.
So I like that. So it's almost like, well, that wouldn't have happened if Drew didn't win the Money in the Bank briefcase, And now since he did, we're able to set up possibly SummerSlam, and further on that, we get Bad Blood, and we possibly get maybe Punk and Seth at WrestleMania or some way, or at another PLE in the future. So we get 3 or 4 matches out of Drew McIntyre winning the briefcase and failing to cash in.
Right. I mean, that was what the original WrestleMania plans were, right? It was supposed to be Punk versus Seth. So we still need that match.
I honestly feel like I know a lot of people say that Seth versus Gunther is a bigger match for SummerSlam, but my opinion, I'd rather see Priest versus Gunther. Like, I'm intrigued to see what that match looks like. Like, they're gonna hit each other hard. Like, people are gonna be bleeding in that match, and like Seth is like, obviously he's like more athletic and you kind of do different stuff than Priest can, but I feel like Priest his selling is significantly better than Seth's, in my opinion. I mean, Seth was supposed to have a broken back and then won like 10 matches in a row, was like doing all things that like relate to his back for like basically the last leading into WrestleMania. So I think Gunther does a really good job picking a limb and destroying it, and I think Priest would do a good job like selling it and doing all that. He sells much better in my opinion. So, and he could actually like overpower Gunther in certain things too, perhaps. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, I just want to talk about the next match, to be honest, because
let's do it.
Let's get into it. Let's go into it.
Yeah, that was a train wreck. I loved like every minute of that match. I loved, Lyra getting stuck in the
in the ropes.
In the ropes, like I was like, oh, that's bad, and then just Zoe headbutts the like literally almost like that might have been 30 seconds or a minute after she like tries to do. I can't remember what move it's called, but she does that weird flip thing, and it's like hits no one, but like headbutts the ladder. Oh my God. God damn! Like that match. That's what a ladder match is supposed to be. It's supposed to be chaotic. It's cramped in there. You're gonna like. It's not gonna be smooth.
High risk maneuvers, right?
High risk. Yeah. Really, like in my opinion, Lyra's thing was like the only like unfortunate thing. This Zoe thing I think was like kind of cool. Like I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like she just she missed the person and headbutted the ladder. Like I don't even consider that the botch. That's badass in my opinion. But Yeah. So, yeah, and then you got Michinoku Driver, like
Ooh,
on the
ooh.
That was Zoe Starks too. She took that also, right?
yeah,
She took
yeah,
that.
she got fatality. That was
The
so
way she
bad.
landed and sold that was perfect. Just I don't know how she even ended up on her feet, but yeah, she like ended on her feet and then like collapsed. Just totally played that so well.
I don't know if she played it. I think it probably hurt that bad. Maybe
Probably.
she landed on her feet and it's like, oh, oh man, that looks so terrible. That match, yeah. And then you got Chelsea Green, who like she's like selling being scared of the ladder, which is
Damn.
a ladder that high should be you should be scared of, and
Yeah,
then gets pushed off like that. That's one of
into
my
two
favorite.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ladder matches ever. It was just unreal. Naomi and the splits, do it,
Oh,
then
that was
goes into the DD. I don't know how she did that.
you see one of her feet was like the ladder was about to tilt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
uh,
That was crazy. I didn't think they were gonna pull that off. I was like, oh man, it comes a botch. But dude, they
yeah,
pulled it.
yeah. That match was so chaotic. It was awesome. But yeah, what you guys think?
I feel like watching it, man. I feel like I could feel the pain through the
Mhm.
TV.
Yep.
Like so, he starts. It's like like I think my back of my head is bleeding while watching it. You
Right.
know,
You're like,
like what's going on in here? You know, no, it was crazy. It was chaotic. I am happy that Tiffany Stratton won because that was someone that I was picking to win anyway. I would have been happy with Chelsea Green winning. You know, I just
mhm.
think that she would have been completely obnoxious with it, over the top. You know, and I wanted that for. I like that character. I like her personality and everything like that. She's cool. Um, but yeah, man, like you say, that is the definition of chaos in a match. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think we were talking about this the other last week or something like that, and we were saying how WWE usually puts on like real smooth, clean,
Yeah,
safe ladder matches, and the other night that was like the complete opposite. That was just like destruction out there. But
Yeah.
it, like you say, it was cool to watch, Joe. You know, and I'm glad everyone was still safe for the most part afterwards. You know.
Yeah. Even them like setting up the ladder bridges and like the ladders spaced out right and just like taking their time to do that. I was like, this is okay. I'm okay with this. Like this is just a part of the show and they're gonna, execute the way they should. And then someone reminded me that Chelsea Green is a professional stunt person. Like she does a lot of
yeah.
stuff. And she's obviously an actor too. And I'm like, oh yeah, like so she took that bump so well coming off that ladder onto the two tables. So I love that. She like protected her head right, she played it, she acted dead. That was freaking awesome.
There ain't no way I'm taking that bump ever. Like that is there's so much that could go wrong. Like if you
Yeah,
jumped out too far, you're
right.
gonna like
Yeah.
you're gonna snap your neck off on the freaking barricade.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the what is that? Hereditary, where the kid's head's out the window or whatever. It's gonna be like that's what's gonna happen if you time that wrong. So yeah, that match.
That was the match of the night. That was
Oh, easily.
yeah, so good.
Not the last match. Not the Bloodline versus
You didn't
Cody
think
Rhodes.
Tonga
Damn,
Loa
you're right.
punching Kevin Owens in the butthole and then punching his brother in the face?
The good old oil check.
He like butthole punch. And let me punch my
Thumbelina.
yeah. Then let me punch my brother in the face instead of give him an actual low blow.
It reminded me of Cody's mom like hitting AJ and then having to do it again. You know,
Yeah. The main difference is she's like 80 and not a professional
and
wrestler. Now that being said, I'd probably make the same mistake at some point, but it was just like it was like legit he punched him in the butthole first. And I'm like, what is he doing? Like,
the dreaded Rear Admiral.
yeah. Oh my god. Tongaloa.
Yeah,
He only had one job. He had two jobs to knock off what's his name's feet on the apron, and then
Oh.
to not give
Oh.
give Kevin Owens an oil change and punch his brother in the face.
Yeah, I think the redemptive value of that whole match was seeing Jacob Fatu in action.
Solo was way sicker in that match.
What?
I was
I'm just kidding.
What? Damn, I can never believe you.
Solo's heel work was impactful. I actually did mind Solo's heel work in that match. He was getting a little sassy with people, but it's not like he doesn't really have. People say he has no aura. I think he has an aura. It's just not Jacob Fatu's aura or
Right.
Kevin Owens's or Randy Orton's or basically everyone else in the match other than the Tongas. So
I mean, look who he's around. Like, it's hard to be like the dude has aura when, like you say, you're surrounded by people whose aura is like on 1,000. You know,
Right.
like everyone eclipses you right now, and you're supposed to be in this dominant role. So it's hard to even stand out that way. You know, even get the spotlight.
Yeah, he doesn't have as much aura as like Bronson Reed or anything like that. So
I was talking with someone. I was saying like, yo, well, when Roman came back and came back as a heel, it felt natural in a sense. With Solo, it feels like he's forcing it. It doesn't feel like this is his personality. You know, like it feels like he's trying to be someone else. Like he's seen someone on TV or in a movie, and he's trying to be that personality. You know, and it just doesn't feel natural to him.
I think that's part of the character, though. I think that's part of the. I think he's supposed to be the dude who's like faking, like, oh, this is what's the. Yeah, I think it is. I think that is part of his character, in my opinion, or he just is going off that way. But that's how I'm kind of seeing it as, like, because he's kind of doing all the stuff that like a textbook heel boss guy does.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think
it's totally different than what he's been doing the Bloodline.
Yeah, like, but he wasn't the leader.
Yeah, but the personality was still like serious. And when it wasn't someone to mess around with and play with, he would give someone a look and it would be like, oh, this dude is serious, this dude is scary. It doesn't, even the same looks now seem forced, is what I'm saying. It doesn't seem he could be like Bane in Dark Knight Rises, right? But Bane normally isn't really going around.
I was gonna try to do the voice, but I can't do it.
Oh, it doesn't matter who you are. What matters is I'm fine.
Yeah.
So he could be like Bane, where Bane wasn't necessarily going around being mean. He was just an intimidating force. You know, when he was talking to Daggett, and Daggett was like, "Man, I paid you a small fortune or whatever," and he was like, "Do you think this gives you power over me or control over me?" You know, and then he put his hand on top of his shoulder, and was like, "Do you feel like you're in control now?" Like that type of thing. Like that is imposing. Solo doesn't give that off. It feels like he's trying, like he watched the movie and he's trying to emulate that, and it's just different to me.
So funny you mentioned. There's somebody spliced a clip of when he was like imitating Roman's mannerisms, like with his mouth, and then like his eyes were like wandering, and then like when Roman like sticks his tongue out, like somebody said like Solo is literally trying to be not trying to be a knockoff, but he's trying to be the tribal chief by copying him.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm connecting more with his character, even though I don't understand it right now, than when he was just like silent and like he literally did nothing. He would like kind of look tough, but like, I mean, it's not like he's particularly tall or particularly jacked or anything. Like it's just like a dude out there. It's not like Braun Strowman, like which is an extreme example, but like even like I was joking, like Bronson Reed is like maybe 2 inches shorter than him, but weighs like 50 pounds more than him. And like if Bronson Reed lands on you, you're like, yeah, that would suck.
Yeah,
like, I don't. And he's like Bronson Reed's actually a lot more athletic than him too. So I don't. Yeah. I just, man, Solo the last like year I was not really a fan, and like I don't like this much, but I like it more. And I in my head, I'm just like thinking he's pretending to be
Right.
someone and doesn't feel comfortable in his own skin right now. But maybe we're trying to be like too like give it too much credit. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not. I mean, this isn't Casablanca or anything. Like I don't think it's like going to be that nuanced. But I don't know. Yeah, I didn't get the match was fine. Cody got pinned. That's kind of a big deal, but
Yep.
I wanted more out of Jacob Fatu. I was surprised that I didn't get to see more of him doing stuff. I feel like he had what?
they can't give you all you want right at once, man.
No,
They
I
gotta
want
tease
it all
you
right
a little
now.
bit. Yeah,
I
yeah.
want
my
it all
goodness.
right now.
My goodness.
I
Give him
got
an
like
inch.
one move out of him, and that was it. No, babe, give me everything. Give me the full course meal.
He looked cool
I've
though.
waited this long. No, man, I don't want a PB and J sandwich. Give me more.
Well, they didn't want
This
him to
stuff
do
I'm
too
trying to
much because they had the real pay-per-view the next day, so they can't have him
get.
go too crazy.
That's right. They didn't want to make Solo look super like a subordinate either, you know?
Well, I think that is most of why they didn't have him go like a psychopath.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to have this keep the street champ looking tough. So that's why we just got the Reader's Digest version of Jacob Fatu. But I thought he looked cool. Like I thought that was good enough for like his first time actually in the ring and not just try to kill
I would say
someone.
that, yeah. In comparison to the Tama lore,
Okay,
them wrestling stuff like that,
yeah. That
like you
also
could
helps
tell.
that you had Tweedledee and those two guys like going right before you. It's like, oh man, this guy's like insane. So
Like, but like, no, I remember like their first match against like the Street Profits, and it was like you can tell that they couldn't adapt to the style of WWE at all. They was like kind of like struggling. But to see like Jacob Fatu in there, it was like it was natural to him. You know,
Yeah.
like it flowed better. Like it flowed like a dance. They was like in the ring, the Tonga Boy was in the ring, like man, like it was like they didn't know what to do. They were struggling. That they had two left feet out there. I remember there was a spot where it was Tonga in the corner, and Montez Ford kept giving him like a shoulder block in the corner, and he kept stopping it and telling him to keep doing it, or whatever. It was just like, what's going on here right now, guys? You know, like this isn't how it's supposed to go or whatever. But let's say Jacob Fatu did look smooth out there. I just wanted more moves. That's just me. I'm just being greedy. I just want to see. I've seen the highlights. They mentioned that's what it is too. They mentioned the highlights. Corey Graves mentioned it. Like, oh, we saw the highlights from him, around the way or whatever. Like, oh, that's what I want to see. Stop telling me this dude is a menace. That he's a criminal. He has no moral compass. They're just thugs. They're just gangsters or whatever. But they're not doing anything like that. They're just coming out there and they're actually just doing regular wrestling stuff. They're not shooting you in the back.
That always cracks me up when it like people. Oh man, they don't follow the rules, and then they're like tagging in.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? He's holding the rope.
I saw that. Dave Pierre, you wanted like the springboard Phoenix splash right away from Jacob Fatu?
Yes, instantly. First move of the night. First move of the night.
Open the match with it. Oh man. That was pretty cool though when he took the DDT and got right and did a
Yeah,
no-sell.
that was cool.
That was sick. I like that.
The no sell.
Oh, I like when he kicked the doctor in the head too. That was cool.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
was
highlight.
sweet.
God.
That poor lady. I'm assuming she's fine, but that looked like that sucked. That's a big old foot coming at your face.
Seriously. Oh my gosh.
She probably makes good money, I hope. I hope that's an actual doctor and not just a medic. Because if it's a doctor, I'm like, all right, at least you're making some cash. Medic, that sucks.
Yeah.
You're not making enough to get a Jacob Fatu shoe in the face. So.
Oh man! So if you guys enjoyed Money in the Bank, like we kind of did, let us know. Comment below. Tell us you guys' thoughts. on everything. Did you want to see Jack R2 go on 10, or are you okay with it? Let us know, man. Next we're gonna get into with the Raw review. You guys ready for that?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll kick it off. We didn't even do pre-podding. We usually do pre-production, so we know what we will be talking about. So I hope I don't steal anyone's points, but I do want to go into Braun Breaker and Dragunov.
I wasn't going to talk about. I think you knew what I was going to talk about, so you go ahead.
I know what you're going to talk about for like 4 weeks in a row already.
It's been like maybe 6 weeks. I like can't help it, man.
So each week, man, I just become more and more a fan of Dragunov. Like I was texting you guys, like this dude is just crazy. He's screaming for no reason at all.
He's in constant pain.
This crazy intensity, this off, like, dude, he has to be just worn out by the time he get home. He probably just collapses. He's just been screaming so much during the match, face turning red, 1,000 veins in his neck bulging out, you know. But I was happy that he didn't lose. Because I don't remember the last
At
match.
what cost?
Hey, he knows what he's getting himself into.
I was happy he won. He also got impaled with a chair, dude.
I mean, you gotta take the good with the bad. We gotta be positive with him. He doesn't have a loss on his record. Yeah,
That's true.
That's true. That's true.
It's true.
So like, I want them to build him up to be something like, you know, dominant and crazy. I don't know when he would actually get into a title picture or whatever the case may be, but maybe some type of. I doubt they do any more tournaments or whatever, but I like him, man. I like what he brings to the match. I like how he sells. You know, sometimes it's a little OC, but for the most part, man, like he's entertaining. You know, and I can't complain about that. You know, like, and he makes the other guy look good by doing crazy stuff and taking their best moves. You know, so, and I think that was kind of like possibly. It wasn't too many good matches, I felt like, but that was like the best match of the night to me. Was that?
Yeah,
Was
easily.
Dragunov versus Braun Breaker.
Dude, can you imagine having to go against either of those guys? Like you're like,
Hell no.
well, I'm gonna have a broken rib 100% chance from either guy. Like just taking a torpedo boss, like, because the thing is that both of them, they have like a weird kind of style where they're so explosive, and it's like they'll like you'll be flying in the air, they're like, oh, I'll just kick you right now in the ribs.
Right.
It's like what? Like,
Right.
like it's like a video game or something. It's, man, that match was sick. Like, oh, they have really good chemistry.
Yeah.
And I like, because they both wrestled each other so much in NXT. I like that they're both countering each other's moves. That like when you see them going against other people, they don't. Again, they story wise, they haven't gone against either of those psychopaths. So like first time going against a Braun Breaker Ilya, you're gonna get hit with a lot of those bombs, but they know each other, so it's like when Braun's going up for the Frankensteiner, like Ilya's like ready for it and stuff. And I just liked kind of the counter wrestling that they have on each other, because they have that chemistry and they've wrestled so many times, and it opened up more. Like that was way better than Sammy's match with Braun.
Right. I agree.
In my opinion. But I mean, you've seen what, like 6 Dragunov matches now?
Yeah,
Probably,
I think
Pierre?
so, yeah.
Like, have any of them been bad?
No.
Yeah, he just like, I know Sheamus says the banger after banger thing. It's really Ilya Dragunov. Like he
Seriously.
like legit only, like if I had to wrestle a match against someone like on the main roster and I like wanted to be like to get picked up by WWE, well, I might end up dying, but I would pick Ilya Dragunov, because like he's gonna make you look as good as possible.
Yeah.
See, once again, you gotta take the good with the bad. You might die, but you also
might die. I might die, but I could get a contract because he's gonna sell the hell out of everything for, like, That's why, like, when you brought it, like, when you're like, oh, he won, and I'm like, yeah, like, but he had to take that chair shot, and it's not like everyone else. Like, he's like sprinted at that chair. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
like, he's like, oh, if I break my neck, I break my neck, but I gotta sell this chair shot. It's so crazy, dude. I don't know what kind of rehabilitation stuff he does on his
Seriously.
body, but that's
Yeah.
it's got to be insane.
My favorite is when he walks from like when even he's like going from point A to point B, he's like writhing in pain. Even if he's the one who just performed the move. He's the one who just landed the move. He's just like getting from one turnbuckle to the next.
No, when he does the senton, that's like usually like he does it like roll on his dude, it's awesome. But if you think about it, that would hurt your back doing that move. Like
It
most
would.
people just like they'll do these finishers and it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I think that hurt you too, but
Right.
like, or maybe you worse, but yeah, he's honestly, I think he's probably my favorite person right now on the roster. He's just
So good.
he's so entertaining. Imagine him in that ladder match.
Oh,
If you
Yeah.
replace LA Knight
yep.
with, because Jay actually was decent in the ladder match. Like LA Knight
Yeah.
didn't really, I don't remember LA Knight really doing anything. But you
I think
put
he's got the belly.
Oh, that
suplex
was
out.
sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you add Ilya Dragunov in there, like he would like beg Chad Gable to suplex the ladder into him. He'd be like, "No, do it like 3 times to me, and I'll like have it hit my teeth."
I mean,
So... Dude, he's the best, man.
Dude, what about like last week? I popped so hard when he was going to get in that triple threat, and I think Drew was going for the Claymore, and he countered with a Torpedo Moscow.
Yeah,
Dude, that was so good, so freaking good.
If you time that wrong, you're getting knocked out for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that match was awesome.
I think you should go last week because
All right,
yours is the end of the show anyway. So what you got,
Yeah.
Marvin?
Oh, how'd
Alright.
you know what I was picking? Yes.
All right. For the Raw review, I was thinking about the damage control situation. Damage control has been talking about for the last few weeks how they need to change. EO's getting pissed. And like, I don't know if I missed it or what, but like last night they won. And
Yeah.
and I'm like racking my brain. I was like, what more can they do? Are they bringing somebody on board? Like, what is it? But then after they won, they got stomped
I
by.
know, that was awesome.
That was great. That was freaking awesome. So I'm wondering, like, what the hell can they freaking do? I mean, the match was okay. It was decent because you're going against, I don't know, Lyra. I thought was great, you know, but like Casey is just whatever. But man,
You want to party? You want the party?
I like the party girls. I know some people don't like them. I like them, man. I think
I
they're
like the
good.
song. I like the song.
I
but,
hate the song, but go ahead.
Song is trash.
Lyra looked like she was having the time of her life out there, though. But
Yeah.
I'm like, what more can damage control do? Like, what is it that they're brewing up? And we could talk about kayfabe or anything like in creative, but like, what is it? Because I was kind of like, it was anticlimactic for me. I was like, all right, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to do something crazy, rotten, or what? But they got jumped by Sonya Deville and her new faction. So I don't know. What do you guys think that damage control is in need of, or what they're going to do?
Pierre, you can go.
I think damage control needs to go back to formula, like Norman Osborn said in Spider-Man.
Oh, Pierre with the Marvel pulls or the comic book today.
Because like I watched their promo backstage, and Dakota Kai gave hers was solid, and even Io was cool, and Kairi Sane was just kind of like just crazy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like I don't. Sometimes I feel like it don't match well together. You know, like
right.
it's like mayonnaise and jelly or something like that at times.
Ugh.
Like, what are we doing out here? You know, I always love that when they do allow Kyrie or Oscar or Io just to speak their native tongue, because that's cool. Because I'd
Yeah.
rather them do that and them just translate at the bottom, put the subtitles. So that's dope. But then I'm watching them and they're doing like Zoolander faces.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do
like,
Zoolander faces. That's a good way to describe it. I've been trying to figure out what it is, but that's
Yeah.
I can't tell if they're constipated or in pain or what, or just confused. But match wise, it just seems like they don't, not them. It seems like creative doesn't have anything really for them, really. Like they're
Right.
lost in limbo, you know? And it is what I kind of had feared after WrestleMania. And it looked like it was going to be different because Io had, she was in the Queen of Ring tournament and she was doing well, you know? I was like, oh, okay, so she's not going to just get buried and be forgotten about or whatever. And the same thing with like, granted, Oscar's injured, so they can't really do tag team title, matches anymore. They can still do it with Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane. But even like Dakota not making it into the Money in the Bank tournament. Like I was surprised that she didn't make it in because
Mhm.
she was killing that match, and it's like, why are they kind of getting looked over or getting buried in a division that kind of like is kind of lacking right now anyway?
Right.
Like the division could use all the help that you can get, and they already have been solidified as a quote unquote dominant faction for the past like year and a half. So you get to Lara and Kaden and Katana, and it's like, well, shouldn't the damage control kind of like dog walk them because they're damage
Right.
control,
Right.
and even in the match, it was still like they could have lost,
Right.
and and at the end of the night, they still lost at the end of the night anyway because they get beat down. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
so I think part of the story is so when they were on the blue brand, there's like how many women on that whole brand? 8,
Yeah.
basically, including them
Yeah.
Yeah,
in a way.
it was that
So it's
brand.
like if you got like 4 people, you're like half of the roster. So like you could just like beat the hell out of everyone, essentially. And then now they go over into Raw and they're down a person, so they only have 3, and they were being dicks to everyone. But like everyone has a group of 3 or more people, so it's like they're
Right.
like, oh shoot, like this doesn't work anymore. So that's how I'm. Now this just could be like I think that's part of the story is, oh, they were like big fish in a small pond, and then
Right.
now this like they have at least double the amount of female wrestlers on Raw, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and like a lot of like badasses. So, yeah, I think that's part of the problem. I think I've brought this up before, but I'm like 100% sure just with how they're being treated right now that Julia is joining them for sure.
Mhm.
She should be back. She should be cleared like any time now. I believe. So I don't know. I would say within the next month she will probably
Yeah.
be in the group. She's supposed to go against like Roxanne Perez at Heatwave, but had broken her wrist, so that got delayed. But they are doing the women's mid card titles. That's been like confirmed. So I
Mhm.
don't know if that's something that maybe their focus will get a lot better once they have
Right.
a mid card title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't think they should. They need to move people from Raw over to SmackDown, in my opinion, for
Mhm.
girls. Like just because there's like 15 women on the Raw side, and I feel like there's only like 6 on SmackDown. And it's like if you have
Just
a
like
mid card title for like 6 people, it's kind of weird, in my
Right.
opinion.
SmackDown, what you got Meechin, you got Nia Jax, you got Tiffany Stratton. That's 3.
Chelsea.
You got Bailey, you get Chelsea Green, you got
Piper.
Piper Niven,
Mhm.
Naomi, Jade,
Yep.
Bianca, Candice LeRae, Indy
So there's
Hartwell.
11.
Indy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 11. I
And,
think it's probably about 20 on Raw, right?
uh,
Blair
well,
Davenport on SmackDown.
Yeah,
Is Blair on SmackDown?
12.
Okay.
Yeah,
12.
12. So and then Raw, you got Kiana James, who we haven't seen in like a minute. I
James.
think Natalya is still on Raw.
Yeah.
You got the tag team champions.
4.
Yes.
You
Damage
got
Control.
Damage Control. Casey.
Yeah.
Lyra. Liv.
Zoe Starks. Yeah.
Zoe.
That whole
Jake.
crew, so that's 3.
Yep.
Then
Technically,
got
you have Asuka. She's hurt though.
Asuka. Becky.
Selena Vega.
Rhea,
Selena. Counted Rhea.
Liv.
Counted Liv.
So what you got
So-
with that?
I know we're missing.
That's 18.
So they have almost double, right?
Almost double. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know we're missing a few people on
Oh, Ivy Nile.
SmackDown had about
Ivy Nile. Oh yeah, Ivy
Oh, yeah.
Nile
Oh,
and
Maxine.
Maxine.
That's 20 right there.
Oh, and Sister Abby.
Spooky.
Whatever.
Sister
Yeah.
Abigail. 21.
They carry thing. They carry thing that is over there.
Carrie. Yeah, why do they keep saying Carrie? It's from the ring.
I
I, don't
hate
get it. It drives me crazy
Yeah.
every time. I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell.
So 21 versus what did we say? 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, almost double.
It is, yeah, pretty lopsided.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was just thinking about damage control. Like Julia was the only like theory I had, like of how they maybe need like new leadership or just an X factor to they need their own Jacob Fatu type of situation.
Julia
But-
can be that person. Like she kicks ass.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was like, did I miss it? I thought they were gonna make a change tonight, but it's
That was
also
hilarious. I was like, oh, they won. I was so pumped and then they got their
They get
asses beat.
stomped out.
We're like immediately after I was laughing because I was like, yeah. Because I wanted them to win because they've been losing and then within 5
Did you see
seconds.
their faces though? The faces when they Zoe and them hopped into the ring.
Oh yeah.
It was like instant like panic and like terror.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right, Wade, what do you got for the Raw review?
Man, we got to continue talking about the soap opera.
Woo!
We got Marlon over here feeling confident, doing full body reaction, watching Liv and Dom grinding. Ain't no way I'm doing full body reaction on there. I was watching, I'm like, dang man, he's freaking confident. I would have been very uncomfortable. So yeah, that was I mean the stretching scene killed me. Carlito again.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then
The
yeah, I
cartoonish
just
appearance by the goons.
yeah, oh yeah, just like
Yeah.
peeking around the door. Oh man, I was all about this. This was perfection to me. And then Dom finally beats his dad for the first time.
Yeah.
And like while he's all caught up in that emotion, he has some baddie trying to get at him. His defenses are down. I get it, man. And then right as he's about to get a little smooch in, Mami shows up. Like they everyone acted that so well. And then when
Yeah.
he like
Their
tries
faces-
to get off her he's like when he goes I was hoping she would have kicked him in the nuts. I was like, oh, I hope she kicks him in the nuts. Like that's what I was really hoping for. But man, I'm so pumped to see where this goes. I kind of want Liv to beat Rhea at SummerSlam.
I think that's gonna happen. I think
do you think she's gonna
Dom's
win?
gonna turn them. Yeah, I think Dom's turning on Rhea at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
the-
Dom interferes in a way. It won't be a clear turn. He
Yeah.
interferes and Rhea still losing, but then we might get it to bad blood or something like that, and it'd be official turn.
Right.
or if it's just DQ, even if Rhea wins, the title doesn't change.
Yeah,
Right.
So,
we will get
Yeah.
stooge activity at SummerSlam.
oh, there's gonna be a lot of stooge activity for sure. Man, they've been plotting this really well. I've been super pumped. And dude, I don't know if this is on purpose, but the Zelina 619 on a Dom's dick. Was that on purpose? Like it seemed
I
like
think
I'm
so.
like, there's no way you could have like not thought that it would lead to a dick shot. You know what I mean?
That was hilarious.
I was like, oh, but I've heard some people be like, saying it was an accident. I'm like, there's no way. I'm pretty sure that was on purpose. I thought he was gonna lose that way, and I'm like, dude, this is like the third time in a row that Ray's
Right.
cheated to beat Dom.
Was that last week or this week when Dom was on the top turnbuckle, turned over, and Ray hit him with the 619 in the corner?
That was last week. That was
That was
sick
sick.
on his head. Yeah.
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 That was dope.
But yeah, what do you guys think of the soap opera?
Man, it's very entertaining. It's very, very entertaining. I don't know. I guess I don't know if something somewhere ruined it for me about Rhea's return. So I wasn't as surprised as I wanted to be, but it definitely was refreshing seeing her come back, storm into the ring. She looked even better than the last time I felt like we saw her, you know. And her little like slide into the ring is dope.
Yeah.
For some reason, like this is so cool to me. And then her to get in the ring, tell down, look at me, mommy's back, mommy's back. You know,
I'm the
and
captain.
I hate so, and then that leads into how much I hate this race for Lasagna TV show afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Because because of that show, we don't get to see the rest of what happened.
I
I don't
know.
care about that race. I'm
No
not
one
going
cares
over
about
there.
it.
I'm not running outside. Dude, I don't even run anymore. Anyway. So show me the rest of Monday Night Raw. It was only like probably another like 2 minutes. Postpone this stupid race show, you know? But it was hilarious seeing Liv book it up out of there. She got to
She
build
sold that
fast.
so good.
Yeah.
Her facial expressions were awesome.
But like I'm excited to see this match at SummerSlam. Like it has to happen at SummerSlam, man. Outside of the possibility of Solo versus Cody Rhodes, the rest of the SummerSlam card seems pretty stacked.
Outside of the main event, everything else is awesome. Would you my question, would you have been able to post a full body reaction like Marlon did for the
Hey, wait, hold on. I'm Asian, all right? So I could get away with a lot.
Yeah, I think part of the thing that's interesting, maybe it's just me because I'm a weirdo, but like of the two personality types of girls that I find like incredibly attractive, even though they're both like probably toxic towards me, it's like Rhea, the like kind of dominatrix, like bosses you around thing, and then like the Liv is like the flirty, like playful, like I'm trying to help you stuff and like kind of like gas you up a little bit. Like it's like the dichotomy of what I like. Is that just me? I guess. Yeah.
Or what about like a Blair Davenport? I see you, interested in something like that.
I mean, yeah. Are you're talking personality wise?
Yeah.
That's kind of like Rhea's like gonna boss me around type of thing. So
Yeah.
like I've been in that. I respond well in those relationships sometimes, but
So ladies, you hear this? Kick away in the nuts and they make him a
no.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Or just make me some chicken nuggies and I'll be fine.
There you go.
Oh
I
man.
think, Pierre, I know you were talking about how like we need a couple more minutes, but I did like the way last night ended. Because Don put up his arms for a hug.
His arms.
And then all you hear is Michael Cole say, Rhea's back. And it just cut. I did like that. And I was like, oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh man.
Cinema.
That's the one thing, like, I know that they coined the term the Renaissance era, but I wish it should just been cinema era. That's really what we've been getting.
You're right. That's a good one.
We've been getting movies out here, like it's different, man. Like
long-term storytelling.
Yeah, it's a different feel out here.
Yeah. I mean,
But
Oh,
how long is Judgment Day
there's a
been going?
different feeling. That's all right. That's for sure.
No, that's good.
so out here pitching tits and stuff out here.
So between this storyline with the Judgment Day / Dom and Liv, and also the Bloodline 2.0, like which one is the better storyline?
Judgment Day, easy
Yeah.
for me, but
I'm a huge Bloodline fan for all of it, but I do like the layers of the Judgment Day story because it's not just Rhea and Liv or Rhea, Liv and Dom. You still got what's going to happen between Finn and Priest.
Yeah.
You know, and then Carlito. So they are their own show. You know,
Yeah.
I think for a while, like I was disappointed in Judgment Day because I wanted them to be as dominant as the Bloodline was, the original Bloodline was, you know, and I wasn't seeing that happening for them, you know, and now they might not still be as dominant as the old Bloodline, but they definitely are dominating the story.
Yeah.
For Monday Night Raw, and which is cool, and it's like I say, it's not boring. Like Carlito popping up every time something happens, saying that's cool, you know. Like it's hilarious. Like the comedy relief parts of it is amazing. This over the top shenanigans of them Braun Strowman chasing them around like each and every week. You know, it reminds me of playing like Resident Evil 3 and the Nemesis.
oh
You know,
my gosh, yeah, just
you
like
hang
that.
around too long and then Nemesis pops out and he starts chasing
Oh,
around.
God.
It's like, dude, get up out of here.
Yeah.
I was just grabbing a green herb, man. Just leave me, let me be. But I do like the layers of that. Like, but I am hoping that soon the Bloodline storyline will pick up even more so. You know, like I can only imagine Roman Reigns is on the clock, and I'm feeling like he might be coming back pretty soon. So once he comes back, this is just gonna just accelerate to a whole nother level. I feel for the Bloodline storyline. But right now, the Judgment Day thing is killing it. You know, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I agree.
Each and every week.
Dom landing and lives his head in her lap in the match.
She's like, it's okay, I don't mind. It was fine.
And I will say that Liv Morgan, this is the best version of Liv Morgan I've
Oh,
ever seen
yeah.
Oh,
in my
yeah.
life.
By miles.
I don't know if they've been holding her back or whatever, but this
Right.
character that she's been doing is just amazing. You know, like she's really killing this. Like as far as like two people that's been acting like crazy, Paul Heyman and Liv Morgan,
Right.
neck and neck right there for me. Give them both WWE Oscars or Slammys or whatever. That's gonna be the category. Acting of the year.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like the Bloodline 2.0 story, it has its peaks and troughs, or like it has its hills and valleys. And I think what happened to Paul Heyman like definitely shot it up for me.
Yeah.
But you know, there are weeks where it's like a little slower, like the results are kind of whack. But I am still intrigued. I'm still, like I said before, I like Solo Sikoa as a Timu tribal chief or a team table. So yeah.
So man, guys out there, everyone, what do you guys think about Judgment Day storyline? Are you guys as into it as way it is? Because this is like week 8, 2 months straight that Liv has been Wade's topic, but I'm not gonna complain about it because she's been doing her job well. What do you guys think? Let us know, comment below. We are gonna get into 10 for theories right now. Give me a second, let me go get my thing. You guys chop it up for a minute.
You want to do 3 count?
Oh, I think I do my 3 count. It's been a long day.
Let's do 3 count.
I'll kick off 3 count. So 3 count once again for you guys is each of us going to present a topic that's been burning a hole in our hearts for the past week. So you bring some Prime over there. Is it as nasty as Kevin Owens said it is?
It's tolerable and it's cheap at Costco. It's like less than $1 per bottle.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had one, so I might have to try one out.
It's pretty good.
Logan Paul,
I get the red, white, and blue one.
Yeah, that's the best flavor, Rocket Pop.
You guys are
Which-
promoting Prime now? Oh, are we gonna get paid? Tyler
Oh, I mean, I'm working
Logan Paul,
on
man,
it.
give him some money.
I held the label this way. And look, it's even blurred out. See, now Kevin Durant has his own flavor now too.
Oh, Prime?
Yeah, it's Rocket
I-
Pop, but they just changed up the name.
Oh,
Oh, he ruined the flavor I like. I don't like Kevin Durant. He's like one of my least favorite players, man. It's
well,
a
no, I'm getting to my
burner
point
account,
for 3 count.
burner account blue.
Burger account blue. Snakeskin. That's another one.
Oh, also, I want to get my point for 3 count. We kind of touched on this a little earlier with the Money in the Bank briefcase situation, and like Jey Uso and like Chad Gable and like LA Knight. I feel like those guys are being punished for some reason. And maybe the reason is because they kind of made themselves incredibly hot without necessarily the WWE machine behind them, in a sense. With like LA Knight, I felt like I kept seeing his stuff pop up on social media, all the things he was doing prior to wrestling, you know, and then all of a sudden, like he's just started getting pops out of the world, you know. But that wasn't necessarily the machine. I think that was just people started recognizing like this dude's been out here grinding for X amount of years, you know. Chad Gable, it's been on a roll that I feel like I've never seen him be on a roll before, you know. And for him to not be able to capture the IC title at the last time he had a match, and now he's tied up into the Wyatt Six story, which is still a hot story, but I felt like this guy is deserving of a singles title. He's never held one before, you know. Sammy, it's not gonna hurt Sammy to lose the IC title to Chad Gable,
Yeah.
because Sami Zayn is a character that can always get one back again, you know.
Right.
Who knows the next time Chad Gable is going to get something like this? So I feel like for some reason they say he's really over as a heel, and it seemed like each and every week he was even getting hotter, you know, even before the Y6 stuff. And then now this brings me to Jey Uso. Jey Uso, part of the bloodline, cool, right? Leaves the bloodline, teams up with Cody Rhodes, wins the tag team championships, loses them, whatever, struggling or whatever, still main event Jey Uso. Loses some main events. He has had some title shots, granted, you know, world title shots at that. I think 2. Well, he had one against Seth Rollins, then one against Roman Reigns. And then it seemed like he was kind of just coasting, and then the whole Yeet thing started to build.
3 because he had what's his name too?
Baby Free.
Yeah.
So then the Yeet thing started to build. And each and every week, it seemed to get stronger and stronger and stronger until we get to Backlash, and we have friends, and all the friends in the Eiffel Tower is bouncing and yeeting on himself. Like the residue is still in the streets of France right now. The yeet is everywhere. And then we still continue it on, you know. And for Jey Uso to not, I don't know. I just feel like these guys have just so been incredibly hot to not even have a shot at, or not even be able to carry the title. I feel like it makes sense. Like these people are as hot as fish grease right now, and they haven't had the chance to win a title yet, or they haven't held the title. They have had chances. What do you guys think? What do you guys feel might be the reason why?
I would say so none of these guys would have been given this opportunity if Vince was still in charge. Like they wouldn't even be getting these stories, in my opinion. I think the thing holding them back the most is that Triple H likes long title reigns. So that's the main thing preventing them from actually getting these opportunities, is because the Sammy one. Sammy should just lose it. Like he's had it long enough. He's defended it like 7 times or whatever. Like no one cares. Like just have him lose it, and then he can go against Gunther or something again in like a few months. You could heat him back up as a babyface. He can lose 100 times in a row and still get a title shot. But LA Knight, I think he will have a belt in 1 month,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Jay, I just don't. I think what they're doing with Jay is what they did with LA Knight to see if, okay, like, can you stay hot for a year?
Right.
And like, if you can, and I feel like LA Knight is a much more complete package than Jay, in my opinion.
He probably like with the wrestling skills and stuff and matches.
Wrestling skills, like promos, like he's way better
Promos.
like he's significantly better on promos than Jay Uso, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Although Jay is he has good comedic timing and stuff, but like as a serious like character, I don't think Jay is very believable, in my opinion. But Chad, the Wyatt thing is really screwing him over, in my opinion. Like that, getting pulled into that, because that's just gonna like delay him getting I think he's gonna get the IC belt, but I mean, maybe 3 months from now. And I think it was him being nice and being like, "Oh, I'll feud with him or whatever." But it really should be Jey Uso, like feuding with them, in my opinion. Because I think you're not risking anything having Jey Uso. Like, he's kind of a weird goofball character. Like, have him getting scared and stuff. He's like actually playing that off pretty well. His like fear of them.
When he yeeted and rolled out,
I died.
hilarious.
Like, he's like a cartoon character. Just have him with these guys. But I guess maybe they're taking this very seriously, and that's why they are having Chad, because Chad Gable's just better than Jay and everything. So, yeah, I see what you're saying, though. I feel like it's.
If you make yourself hot, should you be rewarded for it though?
But it shouldn't be at the detriment of like long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're selling some T-shirts, it shouldn't be like, all right, let's have you beat Gunther.
Right.
Well, you know what I mean? Because that's like, who's gonna have the belt now? Or like, Jay shouldn't beat Priest, because like Priest has done like all the right things for like a lot of time. Like, yeah, it's not like we don't need to talk about Jey Uso's past stuff that he's done, mistakes, but like by all accounts, like Priest does everything right. He wrestled the most matches last year, and I think they're rewarding people who like do that the right way. Not saying that Jay wrestled a lot of matches, but Priest did have the most matches last calendar year. So rewarding that person, and then who can also put on a banger with like, you mean someone who doesn't wrestle, you put on an awesome match, like rewarding someone like that, I think is who you should reward, not just, you mean someone who could say one word and like it gets over. So I don't know. I like the meritocracy they kind of have. Although like Chad Gable should be world champion by now if the meritocracy is that, you mean, fair. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just confused because, like, you know, as you mentioned earlier, if Jay doesn't get a title during his singles run, then what was it all for, right? I know the Yeet situation came out of this and they're banking on that. But if he gets a singles title, then, you know, what will that do with the plans for the Bloodline or Roman's return or, you know, any type of, I mean, maybe he could still do it as champion. I don't know. I feel like that would be kind of weird. But so I'm just confused with Jay of what his fate is now. LA Knight, yeah, he's definitely going to be getting gold too. I believe that this year, SummerSlam, if anything. But Gable, my heart was like broken when Sammy looked at him and said, "No more. Like you're done. Like we're not doing this anymore." And I was like, "Well, now, dude, like Gable. I mean, I don't know if you guys were watching when Gable was like Shorty G.
Yeah.
It was. I felt bad for him then. I was like, you know, this guy's good and everything, but now's the time. I feel like Jay, and you had a good point, Wade. Like, can they ride it for a year? And Jay hasn't even been a singles competitor for a year yet.
No.
And Gable, I don't know. Gable's questionable. I just feel bad for them. Yeah, who knows what long-term plans they have for them, but I hope it does pay off.
Yeah, the Gable thing, he's so good at everything. That's the
Yeah.
thing that like bothers me because he's like playing a heel really well. He was
Yeah.
over as hell as a babyface. People want, I would say, majority of people wanted him to go against Gunther over
Mhm.
Sammy.
Yeah.
And that's like super rare that you can get someone who could do both like that. And he's actually playing off this stuff well. But maybe he's doing him a solid and is like, hey, like I'll make sure this stuff, the spooky stuff, goes off as well as it could. But yeah, just the other issue for Jay, the Intercontinental title is supposed to be the workhorse title, and like where you have your like the guy who has good matches. That's what Gunther built this into.
Yeah.
If you have Jay win that, you undo everything Gunther did.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have Jay win the world title for like a month than win
Right.
the Intercontinental at this point.
Yeah.
Because of what Gunther did for it. So yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that IC title turning into like the popularity title, right? Or
Yeah.
the star title. Um,
Go back to
yeah.
SmackDown. He could win US title. Have him and LA Knight flip flop that US title. No one cares about that.
Yeah.
But I'm even cool with that. It doesn't necessarily have to
Yeah.
be the IC title. I just think he's done enough, in my opinion, to warrant to be able to be a singles competitor. You know,
Yeah.
like I feel like he's shown that. All right, I've been in a tag team for a long period of time. I'm out of a tag team. I've been able to show that I've been able to establish myself as a single competitor and gain respect from the fans, gain popularity from the fans, make myself hot. You know, I'm
I don't know
entertaining.
about the respect part. I think the popularity part, yes. I don't know. Sorry, not to cut you off, because I was just thinking about every opportunity he's been given, like WrestleMania, Stinker,
Well, they said they
SummerSlam.
cut the match short though.
Oh yeah, what are we gonna get? 30 more super kicks? Yeah,
Well,
like that was gonna. There's no way that match was gonna be. What you think they took out every cinematic thing in there and just left
they
30
could have
super
though.
kicks in there?
It's a
I doubt.
possibility that they.
I bet you they
If,
cut a few minutes. I don't think they took that. Like
Yeah.
it. That was the
well,
worst
maybe
match
maybe
on
they
the
had a plan
card.
in their mind, and then they get to the gorilla, and they're like, "Yo, all right, well, y'all got this," and it kind of throws off everything. We didn't plan
Mhm.
for this, and maybe that's still not our fault. It's still their fault. They should have had Plan B, Plan C, or whatever in the
Was
back.
this the
Right.
But
only match that got cut then? Because everyone else had no problems.
maybe it could
It
have
was
been. We
like,
don't know
but
though.
it was like 2 stars less than any other match on the card.
I agree. I'm not saying the match wasn't boo boo,
Well,
wasn't
that he
trash.
could,
I'm just saying that
yeah.
it's a possibility something caused that to be that way.
SummerSlam
That so
versus Roman is Roman's worst singles match.
Yeah.
we knew that was going to happen though anyway though.
Well, I'm just saying he's been given like main events like all the time, and it's been like not
Yeah.
like they've been like every time it's that person's worst match on a pay-per-view they've ever had is like against Jey Uso every single time.
Right.
So it's like
Hmm.
I don't know, like Damian Priest's worst singles match was against Jey Uso. Gunther's worst singles match, Jey Uso. Jimmy's worst singles match, Jey Uso. Roman's Jey Uso. Like if you're everyone's worst match, I don't know, like there's a common denominator in all these matches, and it's Jey Uso. I don't know. Like I like the guy too. I just don't. I don't think he's really established himself as a singles person. He's like
Yeah.
named himself main event Jey Uso, and been in the main events and had stinkers, but I don't know, man.
I feel like because you sent that video, Pierre, regarding like somebody defending Jey Uso and why he should have the belt, and
Yeah.
like he sells the most merch, he's most over with the crowd, arguably in the whole company. And if you look at wrestlers of old, like Hogan, didn't have a big move set. Warrior didn't have a big move set. But they sold a hell of a lot of merch, and Vince like helped skyrocket them to the top. So maybe it is a Vince versus like Hunter thing, where Vince is like, all right, here's my cash cow. We're gonna milk this thing for everything we got right now. And then if not, then we got this other guy next in line. And Hunter's probably have a different mindset of just like, look, I could always have Jay fall back on the bloodline. I could always have him do the yeet thing, and we could still make money while keeping other people as champion too. So I don't know. I could see why that makes sense as far as like, doesn't got a strong move set. He's over with the crowd and he's making us money. Let's put a belt on him. I could see that.
Is that belt gonna make you more money, really?
I don't know. Maybe the person who holds it causes more title sales.
He's already selling it, but like I'm sure they have metrics like to see like, okay, how much more merch did Cody sell when he got the belt? Like
Right.
versus before. Like I'm sure there's metrics where they're like, dude, we're gonna be making just as much money from this merch from
Right. Exactly. I'd like to see those numbers. I'd love to see.
Well, they'll never show us that because then that's like inside baseball type of thing where we're gonna see. But I just think it's very story driven, and they're not just gonna be like, damn, this fool's like super popular. Because Vince would do that. He would be like, okay, I'll give you the belt, and then I'll have like Corbin beat you for the belt, like after, like just to like do it. So it's like it's like having the belt for like a day and then having Corbin beat you like in 30 seconds. Is that better? I don't know. Like I don't know.
Hey, Corbin beat Kurt Angle. All right.
I like Corbin, but that's like the exact type of thing that Vince would do. Is like Corbin is gonna end to daze you, and then you don't get the belt ever again.
Oh man, I don't know. It's tough. I can see the frustration though.
So you think that if the machine doesn't put you out, and so I guess it kind of brings back to like old school Zack Ryder, where Zack Ryder was really building a name for himself outside of the machine, just through WWE, and then he had his WrestleMania moment. Granted, Zack Ryder is athletically better in the ring than Jey Uso, but he still did that work though. You know, he still went out there and made himself hot, and he got rewarded for doing so. You know, because the woo 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 was over for a while. You know, but I felt like he just kept getting looked over. You know, until he decided to be the quote unquote internet champion.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of the same way, and it's different eras. Like I said, that's Vince, and then we got Triple H, but I still feel like there's parallels to both in the same in a way.
What if Jay doesn't want to be champion?
That's a good possibility too.
Yeah. What if he's like, no, I'd rather just hang out more with my family. I don't want to show up to all these press events.
I mean, really, The Rock is in control of everything, so I think that.
And that was when I.
Yeah, he told Jay not to go for any more belts. I think is what we're gonna find out next.
And that was when I told Gable to belly flop off the ladder. Yeah, I don't know.
What you guys got for y'all 3 count?
All right, I'll go for mine. I got like a 1.5 3 count, so I might steal a little bit, but this is my first one and it's small and it could be really quick because I really want to talk about NXT Heatwave.
So
okay, you can talk about NXT Heatwave.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay. I got something else.
So I have a daughter who is getting into wrestling. She watches it with me regularly. She is huge. She's young. She's like between 4 and 5 years old. She loves Jey Uso. And she loves Cody Rhodes.
Okay, well that's.
And she likes Roman. But every day we sing multiple times the Cody Rhodes song, with or without music. Like she loves that song.
The Cody Raheem Rhodes version or the regular
one? And she's always singing Jey Uso too. Like these are her 2 favorite wrestlers. and she wants merch, right? And I was like,
Mhm.
well, if I buy you merch, if I buy you a shirt, she's going to like a wrestling themed birthday party after summer, a kid's birthday party. And I was like, hey, what kind of shirts do you want? She was like, I want a Cody Rhodes shirt or a Roman Reigns shirt. And I was like, no, that is Thomas. You and I talked about this. Like they, out of everybody, they have like the worst merch.
Yeah, I hate
Like
it.
everybody.
I
Like,
like both of them a lot. It's like knockoff Spider-Man and then like storming the Capitol skulls.
yeah. So I'm in this pickle. Like, what would you guys do? Would you get her the merch or would you try to steer her? And this goes for any type of parenting a wrestling fan. Like, would
Mhm.
you encourage their fandom of these people and their merch or would you like kind of like dissuade them of just be like, oh, why don't we look at I don't know who has good merch right now. Um, I guess LA Knights
CM
is
Punk.
okay. CM Punk has great merch. Like,
Yeah,
so
he
this is like
always does.
this is parenting advice of a wrestling dad who has a wrestling daughter. If your child is into a wrestling into a wrestler that you can care less of, couldn't care any less about, what would you do?
You
Go
go
ahead,
for it.
Wade.
I
I'll
don't
let you
even
go.
have. Well, I guess yeah. I'll give the parenting advice with no child. No, I think you just gotta bite the bullet and get them what they want. In that case, like you're lucky that they're even into what you're into.
True.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
That,
what kind of lame stuff did you like as a kid? So,
hey, I like some pretty lame stuff, but no.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
know what I mean. You're lucky that your daughter's into that and like
Yeah.
will go to the show. So, I mean, it's not like I mean, like if you're wearing a like MAGA hat, like well, she's sort of the Cody Rhodes stuff. Like, yeah, you're gonna get some looks, but I like you kind of deserve it in that situation. Uh, but I mean, the Roman stuff, it's not like it's that bad. You could get the Cody Rhodes shirt that has his dog on it. Like, there's other stuff
True.
Yeah.
kind of. She likes your dogs.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like one of your dogs a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. True.
you could rock that. I think, I mean, man, you're lucky that your kid likes it. So I would just roll with it. And knowing me, like if I ever have kids, they're gonna not like anything I like, probably. And I'm gonna have to watch like bowling or something. So
You have to watch curling.
curling, just yeah.
All right. All right. Pierre?
Um, so it's funny that you say that because my daughter, maybe not as into wrestling as yours is, but she will watch a little bit. And often I do play the music, so she knows Seth Rollins' song because
Mhm.
I'll pick up and I'll play like a guitar doing the
Yeah.
song. And so I tickle her, so she always wants me to do that. And Jay Uso, because she does the yeet,
Yep.
and she knows Cody Rhodes. So and she knows Roman Reigns' song too. So when she turned one, the first thing I taught her was putting the one up.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
from that moment on, I always declared us as the ones.
Yeah.
And so I've been putting that in her mind, in
Yep.
her consciousness that we are the ones. So when all the "We Are the Ones" shirt came out, we have a Uso shirt, me and her.
Yeah.
That says "We Are the Ones" because
Yeah.
it also goes along with how I try to make her beat that way. So if I can find a meaning outside of wrestling that deals with the shirt, then
Right.
I would say I would get it. Like I did so as well with that too. Cody Rhodes shirts, not so much. I got the dog. I
Yeah.
bought the little
Yeah.
pharaoh for her, so
Clean.
she likes that. So yeah,
Yeah.
so she has the plush. Well, I keep it because she tried to take the bandana off the neck.
Mm.
But I would just roll with it, dude. I would
Yeah.
roll because I think it's incredible. Like when I went to SmackDown, I wanted to take her to SmackDown with me, but I was afraid of the atmosphere. I didn't
Yeah.
know how it was gonna be. I didn't know what to expect. Like she was like, she saw CM Punk like the replay, and she was like, "Is he dead?" And I'm like, what did I say now?" You know, because I want to keep the fantasy or whatever of wrestling to still like a show to her. I want her to know like no,
The
they just
kayfabe.
win or whatever. Yeah, kayfabe with her. But I also don't want to think that CM Punk is dead. Too, because I
Right.
don't want to know that this dude is dead, that he's not dead or whatever. Or when the Y6 came on, she's like, is this scary? Is this scary? She just kept saying, I'm like, one, shut up, because I'm trying to watch him and this is the first time
Yeah.
they're debuting. So you got to get out of here. But
Yeah.
at the same time, but she's also into all that spooky stuff too because of me.
Mhm.
So I don't know, man. Like, I just say, just roll with it. I think
Yeah.
that's dope. Like,
Yeah.
as a girl dad too, now we've had to go completely off topic, but as a girl dad too, like, dude, I didn't grow up playing with Barbies. I grew up playing with like Ghostbuster toys and Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So to have a little girl and she wants to play with Barbies and LOL dolls, and I'm like, yo, what is this? Can we go get some turtles? And so that's what I end up doing. I went to
Yep.
go get turtles. I went to go get Ghostbuster stuff, and now she likes that too as well, like me. So we
Yeah.
can get to share, and I can bridge that gap. And the other thing too that I grew up with was wrestling. So be able to bridge that gap, I think that is just a blessing in itself. So go
Yeah.
with it, man.
Yeah.
Get whatever she wants, and then rock it too.
I am. I mean, it was just a hard bullet to bite. I'm glad you guys just validated. I was just like, man, you want two of the people who have like the worst merch out there. But okay, we're gonna do it. Which is funny you mentioned the whole.
It's made for kids. Like that's why the merch sucks.
Yeah. John Cena stuff too. Like I agree. Like funny you mentioned
I
the
might get
action
that last shirt though. I might get that last shirt for real though.
Yeah. Like I mean, I was like, she's like, I want action figures. She's like, I want wrestlers. Like, all right, who do you want? Do you want like Becky, Bianca? She's like, no, I want John Cena, Roman, and Cody. And I was like, okay. So I'm gonna get that for her for her birthday. So she specifically asked for those people. Anyway, a minor thing. But I'm glad you guys helped validate, what I was already thinking.
Just have her
Thomas,
watch John Moxley matches. Get her into him.
Or Darby Allin.
Darby Allin.
Yeah. She probably would like Darby Allin, I bet, because he does crazy stuff.
Yeah. I tell her to watch the crazy stuff, but like the Y86 thing, like we're going to Raw in a couple of months, and I don't know what I'm going to do when that happens. I'll probably have my wife like take her out or something. So we'll see.
It might be too late.
I'm going to be there with you guys. I'm just going to try to scare her.
Bray Wyatt mask. Yeah, dude. But yeah, Thomas, let's talk about Heatwave. Is that one of your 3 counts?
Yeah, that was mine.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I just honestly, other than WrestleMania Night 2, it's probably my favorite WWE pay-per-view of the year.
Man.
Easily.
Man.
Just that like first Obafemi, like the Obafemi Wesley match was basically what the Sami Zayn match the way I wanted it to end, where like the Goliath actually beats the crap out of the dude. Wesley's like selling was insane. There was like, what is it? F15, F50? What is it?
Got F15.
He did like an F5, but he spun 3 times in the air like a helicopter and then landed on the ground.
I saw that highlight. That was crazy.
The Javon Evans, like the Fatal 4-Way. Javon Evans, man, that dude is something else. Like he's 20 years old and he's one of the most. You could put him on the main roster. He's pretty rough, and it's good for him to be in NXT. But you could throw him in the main roster, and he would have like crazy matches. Like, I mean, that dude took like terrible bumps that whole match.
The last 5 minutes were insane with him. He did so many crazy.
You'd be watching something and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's out for a while. Then he'd just be like flying across the ring and then gets like European uppercutted while he's going for like something. He was going for like a cutter like across the whole ring and then got hit in the like tailbone with a chair. Like it was just,
that was so good.
I'm like, dude, how is this guy walking after he yeah, those are like 2 of my favorite WWE matches like all year. They're both like probably in my top 5. Both those matches. But yeah, it just like blew Money in the Bank out of the water. I would say, well, one, like it it has obviously the top 2 matches out of the weekend.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know. The women's ladder match is pretty awesome, but then I would put it almost every match on that card above the rest of Money in the Bank, almost in my opinion. Like it was,
Not a-
yeah. There was no fat. Like every match was good,
Yeah.
and had like its own kind of unique style. Yeah, even the Sol Ruka one, like that's like I'm watching 2 up and coming people who are brand new, who have a unique style, and it was a lot of different gymnastic stuff, but it was like pretty cool. Like I liked that match a lot, and I felt more during that than I did during the Braun Breaker Sami Zayn match. Which, if you would have told me that last week, I would have told you there's absolutely no way that would happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was. Yeah, if you're watching this and you have not watched that pay-per-view, you should watch it.
Go.
It's unreal.
First, like and subscribe, and then go watch it. But
Yeah.
did you see the splice of the Sol Ruka
Yeah.
Kaylani with the Will Ospreay Ricochet
Yeah.
match? That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and then they ended it with Joe Hendry. They showed Joe
Yes.
Hendry's face at the end of the pay-per-view. So I think I'm gonna watch NXT tonight, or the rest of it after this. So yeah, Pierre, you seen some of the spots on
Yeah.
Twitter and stuff?
That Wesley, like you said, that 515. Like I remember I was scrolling to IG and I saw him like, yo, what is going on right now? Like, because I remember seeing the other match with I think it was a 3-way, but it was Opal Fenby,
Oh yeah.
Wesley,
Oh,
and the
gotcha.
other guy. And I'm like, yo, like
Yeah.
first, and then it say Wesley just came back from like a back injury.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the first match you choose to come back after a back injury? Like, what are you doing, dude? I want to see what Opal Fenby can do in the main roster. I don't know. In you guys' opinion, do you think he's ready yet, or no?
Not yet.
No. Well, if you want him to be as good as he can, it's probably good for him to stay in NXT and like still
Mhm.
like, because he's really, really new. Could he
Okay.
have like sick matches on the main roster already? Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Like imagine him with like Chad Gable. Like
Yeah.
that would be unreal.
Or one of the Creed boys.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
just think of Chad because Chad could do the Wesley stuff, but then also suplex him.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah,
and do like crazy feats of strength on someone that big. But yeah,
Yeah.
like the Creeds would be awesome with him. Yeah, it's in his best interest to stay down, I think, and just get more experience and get polished a little bit more. But either they're like concocting the like, and there's obviously some smoke and mirrors stuff, and he's gone against like really good people that it's not like he's had to like. I mean, he's even had some matches that are pretty good against like people like Lexus King, who was not very good. Like I didn't dislike the match at all. So yeah, he's gonna be a star in my opinion. Wes Lee is like one of the top people on the roster, like main roster or NXT. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, he broke his back at like the worst time because it was right before they called up people and stuff.
Yep.
So, like I like Mello, but I think Wesley is better than Mello at like everything Mello's good at, in my opinion. And I think his acting and everything and character work is much better. So yeah, he's nuts. It's just he's like even shorter than Mello is. So that's
Okay.
not preferred because I mean I think I might be taller than Wesley. So
Yeah, Pierre. If you, oh man, watch that first match and the last match. So good. So
Okay.
good. Especially with Javon Evans just
dude, have you seen Javon wrestle yet, Pierre?
I've seen clips.
Oh
again.
no, you gotta see him, dude.
Watch
You
it. I ain't
gotta
watched all
see,
that.
yeah, you gotta watch it because homie, and then the ending of that match was so ridiculous.
I saw that ending. I saw that part.
I was like, Some people were mad. I thought it was hilarious. It's NXT. You can't take it too seriously. So,
Right.
Do this go kind of validate what you were kind of say to where Trick hasn't had like good matches, and maybe that's why I took the title
uh,
from him?
His
Or is
best
this
match
part
was
of
against Ilya Dragunov.
yeah, and then that one where you have, I mean, he did the least cool stuff in that match. I think
Mhm.
he did a good job. Like he's very good at emoting and doing all of that stuff. He nailed the trick shots in the match.
Yeah.
He didn't. Nothing he did in that match took me out of it, but
Mhm.
nothing he did stole the show either, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right.
Where
Okay.
like Javon Evans like leaps out of your screen, like he was the star of that match. But even like Sean Spears and like Sean Spears is just doing crazy stuff, and
I feel like
yeah,
he
it
had
was
better pops than Trick did.
who Sean Spears.
Yeah, like some of his
Yeah,
spots.
yeah. I mean, Trick was the least impressive in that match, but everyone was really good. But yeah, one on one, I have not seen him have a good match other than with Ilya Dragunov yet.
Yeah.
So do you think it's kind of part of the reason why he dropped the belt, or do you think it's more so to go back and forth with Ethan Page, or what do you kind of think the theory is
I
behind
think
that?
it's to have him chase as a babyface.
Okay.
Because in Ethan Page is kind of a big signing for them too, to be honest. Like he is like I mean, he wasn't like huge on AEW, but he's a name for sure.
Yeah.
So if you bring him in, um, I think it was a little early for Trick to get the belt, in my opinion, anyways. So I'm not against him. He needs to be in for at least one more year, I think, in NXT.
Okay.
So, um, and I like Trick. It's just he did not look lost, and that's a hard for people in a match like that where there's so many crazy spots. Like I was actually impressed that like it's easy to mess stuff up in that type of match. So that's other than Ilya, this is the best he's looked in my opinion.
Because
Okay.
he was
Cool.
wearing that Harlem Heat gear. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. All right, tinfoil.
Yeah. Oh, so why we get my 10 for? We never talked about Dijak.
I
Oh
know
yeah,
that was gonna be my topic last week.
You want to talk about it real quick? Why I get 10
yeah.
for?
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Marlon. You want me to
Okay,
play a
so
violin while you're talking?
the nice sappy music when they're making up at the end of every show. Dude, the when I saw that announcement, I could not believe my eyes. Um, it was so hard to see. I was just like, this is unbelievable. And I think I texted you. I was like, what kind of nightmare am I waking up to right now? I was like, there's no way. He just got called up. He was on a streak in NXT. And like, I was upset about it for a good 24, 48 hours. But then he was on Busted Open and he talked about it. And then it made a lot more sense, right? So apparently, during Vince's reign, Dijak was either told that he was going to get let go or they were going to give him a year and a half to work in NXT. Obviously, if you're anyone in that position would be like, well, I'm going to go work a year and a half in NXT.
Yeah,
This is like around COVID or post COVID, and you need the work, right? So he ended up killing it in NXT the last year and a half or so. And then by the time his contract was coming up, it was also the same time he got called up. And he believes that they just did not have any intention of signing him, of re signing him, or renewing his contract. So that made a lot more sense. But the heartbreak is that like he killed it and he came up with so many good ideas and creative regarding his character and being this badass vigilante dude who wants justice for all these.
it's not really justice. He's just beating people up because he's the bad guy. But yeah,
Yeah, and he talked about how that was his brainchild, and and they, despite his good work, man, they didn't renew him, and I think he said Sean was even taken aback by it, um, and just in disbelief. So I'm a little okay with it now because he's resilient about it and he's trying to get booked everywhere. But I don't know, man. What did you think about the whole thing?
um, I think he needs to go to New Japan. They
Yeah,
could really use him. They don't have many people who are like he's a very unique person.
Yeah.
And if you weren't going to use him on the main roster and let him actually like cook, then let him fly. I feel like because I know that they offered him something and then they countered. I don't know if he said this in the interview, and then they never recountered.
Right.
So I wonder if he asked for a lot and they were like, no.
Yeah.
I
no.
kind of think that's what happened. But they could have given him like not a very good offer either. So
Right. True.
But it would have been more than he would have made anywhere else
Right.
because he ain't gonna be getting 400K in
Right.
AEW or New Japan.
Right.
So he probably should have just taken the offer they gave him. If that is true, I believe that's what he said though on his Twitter that they offered him and then him and his agent counter offered and they did not respond basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and he said he kind of started reading the writing on the wall because he like wasn't getting invited to go to tapings too, like not even to show up at the building. Um, and then like he was in a main event match against Pete Dunne and he loses. I'm like, that's not a good sign.
yeah.
Like, you know,
Oh, and
go,
he was in a speed match too. That's
Yeah,
like Xavier Woods, right?
that's right. Yep. Baffled. Anyway, I'm over it now. I've been consoled. I'm all right. He's doing all right. But it was like jarring. I was like, wait, what? The hell is that? So, yeah, man. All right. Tinfoil Thursdays.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we know we got SummerSlam coming up. We got a big World Heavyweight Championship match on the horizon. We got Damian Priest versus the Ring General, King of the Ring himself, Gunther. And I feel like it is safe to assume that most people are going with Gunther winning at SummerSlam. I want to say the opposite. I feel somehow Damian Priest will win. Not necessarily saying that he's going to pin Gunther. I feel like some shenanigans are going to happen, and it's going to allow Priest to win. Priest has been talking about how the Judgment Day needs to handle Braun Strowman, and the Judgment Day has not handled Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman has been running amok each and every week on the Judgment Day, chasing him down, trucking him, hitting the truck stick like it's Madden 99 or something like that. And he's just been unstoppable with them. I feel like something's going to happen with the Judgment Day doing stooge activities and somehow interfering, possibly causing Braun Strowman to come out, and some DQ happens and it will cause Gunther the match, and Priest will still win again. Because so far, what match has Priest had where there hasn't been some type of interference or
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Every match.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? And I think WWE, like I said, WWE knows that we all just kind of safe to bet that Gunther's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think usually when WWE thinks that, how often do they really go with that?
Right.
They might try to spin us.
Right.
And I think that will be a match that will get spun at SummerSlam. Damian Priest is going to walk out of SummerSlam as WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
I actually agree with you.
Marlon, what do you think?
I can't. Ooh, man. I feel like they have. If it's that, then they haven't built up like Gunther enough since he's won King of the Ring. Like I feel like he hasn't had a presence since he's won.
We only seen him twice.
Yeah, so that could definitely be a part of it. But does he need all that? I mean, does his resume speak for itself for him just to take the belt? I
can
think
run
so.
it back at Bash of Berlin.
That's true too.
Yes.
Yeah. Forgot about Bash of Berlin. Good theory. Good
Thank
theory. But we can't
Right.
have two DQ matches, right? Because we were talking about Dom and like Rhea and Liv, right? Would you really want two DQ matches at SummerSlam? Plus the Cody Rhodes Solo Sikoa main event?
There's gonna be no interference in the Solo Sikoa match.
It's gonna be an
That'll be a
honorable match
clean, honorable match. Yeah.
Sure.
between two gentlemen who challenge each other to a duel with white gloves to slap each other
Yeah,
in the face.
that is. That's exactly right. You know,
Alright.
it'll be a slap contest.
Oh yeah, that's worse than a wrestling match. That would hurt so bad. All right, Pierre. I think we're ready for the debate because I know it's
Ready for
late
the
where you're
debate?
at. Yeah.
So, all right. So, before I take this off, if you guys are thinking that Damian Priest is going to win at SummerSlam, let us know. Comment below. All right. So, for my debate topic for tonight, I am going with. You know what? I'll make you guys pick a number first before I tell you what the topic is. Hey, keep you guys on your toes. So,
Out of how many? 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
I'm just gonna pick 5.
4.
It was 8.
Oh,
Yes.
So, the topic for tonight is it is time to retire the what chance. I don't care who decides to go for it and who decides to go against it, but Wade, you get to choose what you want to pick.
I mean, I'm just gonna go for it because I hate those things so much. Like, like I could come up with some BS argument, but like, it's one of the banes of my existence. So, yeah, I'm good.
So you're for retiring the what chance.
Yes.
So Marlon, you are against retiring the what chance.
I'll go first.
Okay. Let me get this timer ready. I wish we get a little digital clock up on the board on the screen. You ready, Marlon?
No, but yes.
All right, go.
WWE is about creating moments, man. Moments. How many times have those moments been created by people in the Attitude Era? Right? We got the eyebrow. We got do you smell what the rock? It doesn't matter. And we got what? This was a turning point in Stone Cold Steve Austin's career when he, God, I think he was a heel when he started doing this. But what has been embedded in all of our memories, in all of our legacy with the WWE? How much longer do I got?
25 seconds.
So hearing the what chance not only shows the people who grew up on WWE in the crowd, but also their disdain for the person on the mic. It is character. It adds levels to the whole live experience. Anytime you hear what, it actually makes the experience a lot more pleasing for everyone.
That's it.
All right, I'm ready to go.
All right, go.
You mentioned moments. How many moments have been ruined by a what chant? It might be thousands. And it's just there's so many imbeciles. Someone could be talking about like outside of kayfabe, like legit people like talking about family members being sick, and I've heard what chants. It's just like these people are animals. They cannot help themselves from doing these stupid chants. Every time I hear a what chant, it's like the opposite of oh gosh. I'm forgetting the movie. It's the Christmas movie. Where you hear a bell and an angel gets its wings.
Oh, wonderful. It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Every time I hear a what chant, someone goes to hell, I think. Like it is literally the bane of my existence hearing that stupid thing.
All right. Marlon, you have 30 seconds
Sure.
to rebuttal. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Then go.
Hell is exactly where Stone Cold wants to send them anyway. He says, raise hell and leave. Every time their what chant goes on with somebody who it doesn't expect it, it causes them to be more creative, like Piper, which I thought was cool when she was like, if you're dumb, say what? And they're like, what? So it really causes the superstar to come up out of their, become more creative in diffusing the what chant. So it makes everybody better. And, I feel
That's
like
it.
people.
All right. It's one thing if you had to be creative by hearing a what chant one time and then like going on the spur of the moment and making an adjustment, but literally every single time it happens. So it's not like you just have to create your promos around the what chants, which ruins the promos themselves. So people have to change their cadence and not make things unrealistic because of the what chants, which ruins a lot of promos because some doof magoo over here has to yell what because they can't pay attention. I rest my case.
Well, I think it's safe to say Wade won this one.
Oh, come on! I hate the what chants too.
I
No,
couldn't even. Usually, I like to pick the difficult one, but that one I hate so much I couldn't even pick it.
But for real, I have so much respect for people who can work around it. If they got to change their cadence, they got to figure it out. Like Roman, I think smashes the what chants every time. Every time he's met with them. But yeah, I hate them.
yeah, I feel like it's one thing that hijack the show sometimes, but
Yeah,
when you really just causing chaos and you're messing up the show at
yeah,
this point. Like I want to be able to enjoy the show. I can't enjoy the show when you guys are whatting
yeah,
after every word for no reason, just because you think it's cool to do. Like
yeah,
sometimes nostalgia is just trash. Sometimes, like retire it, man. I'm over
yeah.
it.
It's
So
like
yeah,
being of like tagging on a wall. It's like nobody cares about this but you. It's like it just ruins it.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I like tagging walls, but that's fine.
But yeah, if you guys hate the what chance just as much as we do, let us know. Comment below. And that is going to wrap up another episode of Tables, Ladders, and Bumps. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, comment, give us feedback, help us get to this amazing number so we can monetize and do amazing things. Let us know you're going to SummerSlam. Some of us might be going. I'm thinking about going Bad Blood. I really am thinking about going Bad Blood.
I think I might actually go to Bad Blood. I don't think I'm going to SummerSlam now, but
I think so. And I want to figure out where Survivor Series is at. They haven't named it yet. Let someone knows. That I missed.
yeah, I've not. I keep checking, but they're being weird not announcing that.
So that's the only thing I want to go to. Man, this is so much now. Like I don't want to go to Survivor Series. I don't want to go to the Royal Rumble because it's pretty much 3 hours away or something like that. And then Mania again. I might take a break for a minute. Besides, they do like a Raw or SmackDown here.
You're like
You
going
go
to like all of them. He's like, yeah, go to like all of them. Then like maybe take a bit of a break. But if they got a Raw or SmackDown over here, I'll go to that. Yeah, I heard it's in they're gonna do Survivor Series in Juneau, Alaska. And
Oh man, I don't do that. I don't do the cold.
yeah.
I'm not a cold weather person.
That'd be terrible. So
But yeah,
all right.
thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.